yeah. Gone on you with the pick and roll. Younger flame, he in sicko mode.
Now then, welcome back to the channel and to a brand new video where today we're going to be focusing on the GTI. Mainly the exterior. Past few videos have just been focused on the interior, and now that's all finished, all looks mint, really pleased with it. Now we move on to the exterior, and then hopefully next video we'll be able to drive the car. So there ain't really much to do, to be fair. I've got a few bits to put on, got some new parts I'm going to show you in a minute, and basically, yeah, there ain't a lot. Just gonna get through it, and then the car's finished and we can move on to something else. Nah, we can enjoy it, that's what's going to happen. But yeah, like I say, exterior, bought some new parts, gonna bang those clips up now. So we're on our way to Wales now to collect these Team Dynamics. We'll see you when we get there. So I'm going to show you these wheels because I'm too excited before I get home. What I've bought is the exact same as what I've been running before. So I've got these 216s are in the boot, and they are literally brand new. Like, there's not even a mark on them. I don't think they've ever even seen the road. Like, with how immaculate they are, it's ridiculous. So I've got 216s, I'm going to be keeping them. And on the back seat, same again. Two basically brand new. I'm pretty sure they are brand new, they might not be, but they're immaculate. 17s, and I've already sold those. Picked these up for an absolute bargain. Obviously had to drive 2 hours to get them, but absolute steal there. And I've sold the 17s already, so 16s barely cost me anything. Good, sick deal. Got a 2 hour drive home then, got my bitches in the back. See you at the unit. 3 hours later, after the motorway being shut twice, we have arrived. Let's get the wheels in and go to bed. So these are the 16s I'm keeping, and as you can see they are pretty much immaculate. All the insides and everything, like they're like a brand new wheel. So I'll be keeping them. Not going to be keeping the tyres because they are just wangers. They're just Nankang Ultra Sport NS2s. Like a 195/50 16, I think, but plenty of tread, so plenty of burnouts. I think the eventual aim is probably to have 4 dry tyres, 4 wet tyres, and 1 just as a spare wheel. All matching colour. I've got 9. I mean, I would have 10, but like I say, I crashed. So yeah, maybe one's just a spare in case I ever crash again. But yeah, they're tyres, and that's it for now. Another day, another road trip. Today we're on our way to pick up a 3-inch full custom exhaust for the GTI. I've got dickhead 1, dickhead 1, dickhead 2. All fully V-banded, big single, down swooping tip. Let's get it in the car and get back. So as you've seen, bought that stuff, that was last week, and we're in the present now, we're down the unit, we're gonna crack on. So I've just spent the past half hour having a massive tidy up because the floor after 2 weeks of working on this car was an absolute state. But now everything's tidy, we've got a fresh, what the fuck am I trying to say? We've got a clean work area so we can work on car. I just got lost in words then. Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, I've got some new parts, let me show you them now. So the first thing is this genuine Cup Edition Polo GTI front bumper. Now, I've only ever bought these before second hand, and I was looking on the Polo page waiting for one to come up second hand, but a lad messaged me, sorted me out a sick price on it brand new, so big thank you to Adam for sorting that out for me. Got it all sorted in a week. We didn't think it was going to come with any of the fitting kit or grills, so we just ordered like the base bumper. Turns out it came with everything anyway, and that was too late because I'd already ordered this like universal honeycomb ABS plastic grills, which I'm going to use now because I've sold the genuine ones. Obviously that honeycomb stuff's cheaper than genuine grills, so I just flogged them. I'm going to make some grills out of that. I've definitely shown these before, but I got two new candy white front wings. I've given them a clean now, so they look a bit different, but yeah. They're going to go on, because obviously they're in primer. One other thing is the Vortex side skirts. I picked up a set of these. Now, they are blue, so they're going to get painted eventually, but I don't mind the car being mismatched for a bit. Let me try and get them on the car. It used to have a set of these on, and I sold them. Don't know why, but I sold them. So I bought another set, and the reason I wanted these is because the look I'm going for is proper low front end, proper low side, and then this back bumper's getting cut somewhere. Kind of like Japanese Civic style. And then obviously you already saw I picked up this full 3-inch turn down exhaust system. Now I was actually going to get an exhaust custom made because I already had a downpipe, which I've now sold. But if I was going to get one made, it was going to be pretty much the same. I was originally, my plan was to get a centre exit made because the bumper's getting cut. So the bumper's going to be a bit shorter than that, and I was going to have a centre exit just coming straight out, or maybe even it was going to come out of here or something. It was going to be something stupid, but someone with a GTI since done that. So I decided not to do that, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to do a single tip there. And then Stavros put this up for sale, and I thought, yes, sick, I'm off to buy that. So we set off and drove 2 hours to go get it. This exhaust heat shield tunnel, whatever you call it, is off my donor car outside, because stupidly when I stripped all this for the cage, I just threw that all in the bin. So I've got that now, and we can get everything put back together correct. Now I've got one other thing that you saw me pick up, and that's turned into a nightmare. So these Team Dynamics that I picked up do not fit the car. So these wheels were advertised as 5x100, but they're not stamped anywhere, so when I turned up there was no way of me checking. And it turns out that they're 5x108, so now I'd say that I need to find 2 more to complete my set to replace these, but I've already found them, so I'm going to pick them up as soon as these have sold. Now then, that's enough talking about all my new shit. Let's get started in putting this exhaust on. So, that car that I said wasn't going to go back on axle stands is going back on axle stands. Let's do it. Yeah, I didn't even realise how bad boy these axle stands are. They actually go, there's another hole that they can go in, but my jack's not even tall enough to get up there. Anyway, that's plenty of room under the car now. I'm not going to bother filming most of this because I just want to crack on and get it done, and how can I really film under the car? I'll see if I can get bits and bobs, but mainly, my main focus of tonight, it's already 9 o'clock, I start a new job tomorrow, so I just want to get this done and get home. Got the standard exhaust removed. And now here's a side-by-side comparison of the two. Oops. I believe the standard exhaust, because this is what this is just a standard exhaust with a D-cat, just the cat chopped out and straight pipe welded in. I believe this is 2.25 inches, and obviously I've already mentioned that this is 3 inches all the way through. Straight out the downpipe I think is 3.75 inches. With a reducer into 3-inch. Now I need to get this standard heat shield back up under the car. Like I said, I removed it last time, but we're going to refit some now because I've got it off the donor car. Let's get it on. I've got the first part of my heat shield on now, and I'm about to fit my downpipe, but before I do that, I need to blank up one of these holes, and I don't have a blank, so I'm making one because I thought I had one, but it's the wrong size. The reason there's 2 at the top and 1 down there, the car actually has 2 from factory. So when this exhaust was made, he put another one in for an AFR gauge, but I'm not running one, so I'm going to make a blank. So I've taken an old lambda sensor, cut off all the bits I don't need, drilled out the inside, just going to weld it all up, make it sealed, bang it in, that's us bung. Ooh, she's glowing a bit. We'll let that cool down and get it bunged in. I've finished putting all the heat shield on now that I'm going to run. Gone right from the downpipe all the way back. Now I haven't got anything here. But that's just because, oh look at my banana socks, they're cool, aren't they? Yeah, I ain't got anything at the back because originally it mounts to the wheel well, which obviously isn't there, so I've just left it. But there's a bit of the fuel tank which was exposed, so I've just put some heat tape on that. That should stop it from setting on fire, let's hope. Yeah. Right, now I'm going to bang the exhaust on. So there's my little bung. I've ground it back a bit, not completely. Now, granted these are only like £4 on eBay, but I did think that I had a bolt that was going to fit in, it turned out it didn't, so that was just a quick solution. Well, a quick permanent solution. Right, let's get the exhaust on the car then. There we are, that's the downpipe on. Lambda sensor's plugged in. I'll probably blank this one out because it hangs down proper low, so I'll probably just buy a blank for that now. Don't need it, I only need one. Only need that one. See the bungs next to it. probably blank that out. I just don't like how low it sits. So, yeah, everything was cable tied up before. And it got decatted, so I'll just buy a bung for it. Let's get the rest of the exhaust on then. So I've got the full exhaust on now, and before I show you it, let me just point out that this exhaust came off on a beefer. Yes, to the same chassis, yes, to the same engine, but the bumpers are different. They're different, they're wider, and the bottom of an beefer bumper doesn't curve in as much as a Polo. That's the best way I can explain it. So yes, this tip is too far out, and that's why I pre-warned you. So it's too far out, and it's going to get cut temporarily, probably around there. Just make it a straight cut, and eventually if I still do want to turn down, we'll just get an extra bit added in and turn it down. But for now, I'm probably going to cut it. But the whole thing's on V-band install. V-band exhaust makes for a really easy install. Everything's nice and tight. Looks bang on to me. The height of this is pretty good as well, to be fair, won't I, actually? I mean, I might eventually want some adjustment made to the hangers. Let's not waste any more time, let's get it started. Quite excited to hear what it sounds like, to be fair. I'm kind of expecting it to be majorly loud. I did go and ask when I bought the car, I went, like the proper amateur went, yeah, just a quick one. Is it loud, this exhaust? And what I mean by that is it going to burn my eardrums out? And if it is loud, well, I'll just get another box put in the centre section. But we'll try it now. We'll see what it's like. Alright, I can confirm it's pretty fucking loud. I'm going to go around and just pressure test it all. Just hold my hand up against the exhaust and just check we're not leaking anywhere. Burnt my fucking hand on the downpipe. That was a bit silly. So it's quieting down now, and I will say that my cold start sounds like absolute dog shit. It might be over fueling, it might be something. Basically, it's not been mapped for this setup. It was mapped with no intercooler, a standard exhaust with a decat. I think it's obviously going to need remapping again, so the map's going to need tweaking. I've done way more performance mods now. It's still running the same map it was before. I just burnt myself. That actually fucking hurt. Now it's quieting down, it sounds fucking sick. I don't know whether to cut it down yet or to wait, but next job's going to be cutting this bumper. This is so gimpy, but I'm just going to rev it just to see what it sounds like. I know it might not sound good on camera, but I just want to hear it. So now my exhaust's on, I'm going to start the back end and work my way forward. So I need to chop the bumper where I want it, I need to chop the exhaust where I want it, I need to chop all the stuff out that's underneath the bumper that hangs down. There's just a few little brackets and stuff that need chopping off. I need to extend number plate light cables so that the number plate lights work, because at the minute they're too short, they've been snapped. And then put my lights in and the whole back end is finished. So I'm going to crack straight on with that, get time lapse in. Chopped bumper. Well, there's not really any going back from this now, because I've chopped all the mounts off for the whatever rear valance. That is it. We've got a chopped bumper forever now. Gonna get this on the car. There's a few little bits that need cleaning up underneath. We'll get them done, and then we will chop the exhaust. I'm gonna have to pause here just to show you how sick this looks. Like, fully chopped. It looks so much better now none of those mounts are there. Just chopped off this tiny little section. No, which way was it? That way, I think? Yeah, that way. Either way, I've chopped barely anything off, but it looks so much better. So much better. I'm just giving the bottom a good clean up. I don't know if you'll even be able to see that. I've just ground it all flat on the bottom. That all looks nice. Now it's just a case of figuring out where exactly I want to chop. I think I'll probably do it like there. I mean, this is going to need lifting up. So this is going to need lifting up, it's going to need modifying, so I'm not too fussed. Probably just chop it somewhere there, just so it looks like a straight tip. I wanted to get it a bit higher. I mean, I probably could get it a bit higher, but is it worth putting the strain on the exhaust? Probably not. I don't think I'm going to bother. So yeah, I'm going to chop it there. I'll do that now. This is how I'm working out the perfect circle to cut round. Just wrap a cable tie around it tight, adjust it, and then I can get my pen, whatever the hell that is. And we can just draw a line around it, and it gives us a good outline to go off. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be 100% perfect, but it's definitely going to be better than not drawing anything. That looks so much better now. Cut down the tip, polished it up, no sharp edges now, and you might notice that I've managed to close the gap here. Done a little temporary bodgy fix thing to lift it up. Looks so much better now. This is kind of exactly what I had in my head for this back bumper. Cut back bumper with a single tip. I don't really know what my plan is for the future with this exhaust, but I definitely do want to modify it. Kind of fancy like a little pie cut turn down tip on the end. Something, get it raised up a bit. Some fancy little welds and who knows, something. But for now, that's alright. Now we need to extend the wiring for the number plate lights, get the number plate on, get the lights in, get everything bolted together. So the back end's all pretty much bolted back together, but unfortunately I can't find my number plate light bulb holders. So for now, there's no lights in there. I'm going to order some holders and some bulbs, just so I know that I've got some for definite. But at least that's all together for now. So my next two jobs before I go home, because it's getting kind of late now, are change both wings and fit the side skirts. So I'm going to crack on with these now. I really hope this is just pure white because it's clean, and that's like grey because it's dirty. Look at the state of this colour difference. That is what sitting in a unit for 10 months gets you. That's horrendous, that. These definitely come off a candy white Polo, so they should be the exact same colour. Got a feeling this is an aftermarket wing because they don't fit anywhere near as good as the other one, and I bought them thinking they were both genuine. You might have noticed as well that on the other side this does have some rust problems, but this is definitely a genuine wing because it fit mint. So that's not really a problem because look at the rear. The rear arches are crusty. They were the worst things ever when I bought them. And this car's a bit rough and ready, but I just wanted some wings that were straight, which these are, I believe. Yeah, they're pretty straight. No, they're bang on. These wings are bang on. This can all be fixed. At least they aren't creased and haven't been rolled like my old ones. Like they're shit. They're just aftermarket eBay specials and they fit awful. This one fits really good. Although it is marked a bit, I'm just going to put some touch-up paint on it for the time being, and then eventually we'll paint the full car. But for now, new wings, that'll do me. So now I'm going to throw the side skirts on, and to be honest, I'm not really sure what I'm doing because they are blue. I'm not getting them painted yet. I don't know how long they're going to be blue for. I don't know when the car's going to get painted, because there's no point in me getting individual parts painted now if I'm then going to paint the full car in the future. I don't know whether it's worth putting them on properly and then just painting them with them on the car, or whether I want to take them off the car. I really do not know. I think I'm probably just going to put them on properly. To be honest, I think I'll just put them on properly, and then they're on then, aren't they? And then when it comes to it, I'll just paint the full car and paint them on the car. So yeah, let's crack on. Right, I've just figured out that the car actually needs to be on the ground so I can do these side skirts. I did think I could do it up in the air, but the but the axle stands are getting in the way, so I'm going to drop it down to the ground now. Done everything I need to do underneath the car anyway, so it's not really a problem, just fast forwarding it. So I'm going to drop it down to the ground, I'm going to get these side skirts on. So I can take them off. I'm going to run a bead of sealant all the way down to the end. I'm going to get them up nice and tight on the car, get some masking tape, hold them in place, and then I'm going to screw them in from both ends. So I've got one side pretty much beginning to seal on. It's got a factory mounting point in there. Sikaflex all the way along the side. And then in the back there isn't actually a mounting point, so I've just banged a self-tapper in it. Pretty bodged, but it's going to hold it for now. Once this is all sealed and tight, I'll just take the self-tapper back out. But knowing me, I'll probably leave it back in, so I might just be lying to you. I'm definitely leaving it in. This sill's an absolute state, it's completely covered in silicone and all sorts, so got my wire wheel on my grinder, gonna go over it all, get it all nice and smooth, and then we'll stick the next side skirt on. So now we'll wipe all this off and get the next one stuck on. That's this side bolted up as well now. Once again, I've just self-tappered through there because the factory mounting point was missing. Like I say, the car's a bit of a nail, so that was missing. And then, same again, just self-tappered through the back. So I'm going to leave these till tomorrow now. Both side skirts will be dry. And then that's the rear and the side done. And we can move on to the front bumper. Another day, we're back down the unit and the side skirts are now dry. We've got all the back end done last time, so now it's a case of spinning the full car round and working on the front. Back's done, side's done, front needs doing. Let's spin the car around. Well, I've just been and turned the car round. I went outside and I couldn't resist taking it for a drive down the yard. And I will admit there is quite a big bang from somewhere and the exhaust is knocking on the heat shield, so I'm going to have to rectify that. But the bang, I probably cannot figure out for the life of me what the banging is. The drive shaft's clicking a bit and it bangs, which is worrying, but I'll deal with that on my first drive. We'll have to fix it after then. Anyway, I'm now taking the bulbs out of these lights, which were on the pickup, and putting them in these. I can't remember which lights have come from where, or why I've got no bulbs in the ones that I've made. Anyway, I'm just getting bulbs sorted. That's success for one side. I've got working indicator, ring mirror indicator, and the rear. I've got all the bulbs I need now in these lights, and the next job is to wire in these USDMs. Basically USDMs, this USDM kit I ran probably 3 years ago on my Polo, and what it does is it turns your indicator into your side light. It's like dual filament, I think this is right. So what you've got is, when your side lights are on, you've got a really like dimmish kind of orange light where your indicator is, and then when you use your indicator it lights up a lot brighter. And the reason why I want this is because I'm completely missing a side light in here now because of this air intake, which would just make more sense if I could use my indicators and my side lights, which is why I'm going to be using this USDM kit, also because it looks fucking cool. So let's get this fitted. Got the wiring diagram. We just use these Scotch block connectors and just link them into the original loom. Let's do it now. That's the first one wired up, and I must say I absolutely hate Scotch block connectors. I just think they're so awkward and I just think they're so unpredictable to get a good connection with the wire. So I did have to go back through and get a good connection now, and I've made sure that they pierce the wire properly. So this is the side light. I'm going to show you the settings. So this is the side light. This is with your main beam on. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's still the indicator on there. And that's with the indicator on. This is really good because it means that I don't have to have a side light, because my side light is just incorporated into my indicator now. So I'm going to do the other side, and I'll show you when I'm done. I think that's them both sorted. Let's test them. Right, so that's the USDM sorted. Now let's try and get this bumper on. Well, I know this bumper ain't going to fit straight away because there's factory mounting points here that you can see that I've chopped off for the intercooler. Now this is kind of really annoying because the intercooler I had before was a forge single pass at the side, and it hung down the bottom, and all you needed to chop was a tiny bit out of where my finger is now. But with this, you're gonna have to chop a fair bit to get it on, which is annoying, but you know, what more can I do? So I'm gonna mock it up and I'm gonna draw a line where it needs chopping, and then we're just gonna start chopping till it fits. To be fair, it doesn't actually look as if much needs chopping, so this bit needs chopping off there, and just this here, and I'm hoping I can get away without having to chop the upper clip, because that's just in line with the Jubilee, and I'll just move the Jubilee around. But you can see that that needs going because it bangs on there and that around there. So we'll take them little bits off, have a play around with it, see. I just want to cut as little as possible. I decided I didn't like the idea of cutting the bumper when I've got more space around the back. The intercooler doesn't need to be as far forward as it is, it sits around there. I've got all that room to move it back. So what I'm going to do now is just modify the bracket so that it sits further back and I don't have to chop the bumper. Right, so my plan was to chop the bumper because the intercooler was sticking too far out, so the bumper needed chopping. But because I've removed my aircon, now I've got room so my intercooler can move further back. And I've been looking at how I can do that. So there's two ways I could do it. I could either drill new holes in the mounts, because there's like, probably get 20mm of adjustment there, or I can chop the brackets and weld them up so that they're shorter. Initially I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll just drill these holes, but I've done some measurements and 20mm is not going to be enough to clear this bumper. So it looks like the only option for the one side is to shorten it, and on the other side I can drill new holes. So that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to chop and weld this bracket now. So I've chopped a fair amount off now. It's just a case of piecing it back together and welding it all up. So I've just cleaned up the metal now, and it's just going to get welded together, something like that. Let's do it. So that's all welded up now, got it done on both sides, plenty strong enough. I'm going to put some paint on it so it doesn't rust, get it on the car. So you can't even see the mount now because I've bolted everything back up, but it's moved it back that much, which is probably around 25mm. And if you look at how much I was planning to cut off, this pretty much covers what I was planning to cut off anyway. So we've definitely gained something. I think it's still going to need trimming a tiny bit, but we've gained something. So now all I'm going to do is perfect the fitment on the bumper. Thanks to my little custom bracket, I haven't had to chop much off at all. I've managed to keep this bit here so I can still keep my grill intact, because that's where the grill clips over. Literally just had to trim probably 20-30mm off, but if I didn't do that I'd have probably been trimming way out of here. So glad I did that. There's no real problem with it, and now all I've got to do is transfer the sliders off this standard bumper onto here, because for some reason when TPS sell you a cut bumper they sell you 9N sliders and not 9N3 ones, but not the end of the world. Got some spare here, just going to transfer them onto this now. Really easy to do this. You've just got a load of clips and then one retaining clip that goes on the end. I need to put it on. There's one there. Screw through that, holds it all in place, holds it nice and secure because it all just wedges up into that corner. Then I just need to nick some sliders off those wings or some other wings in the back because these don't have any. And then we can put the bumper on. Test fitted the bumper. It looks gangster. That's such a gimpy thing to say about my car, but it looks fucking cool, doesn't it? There's two things that are wrong, and the first one I can rectify with this little bit of plastic and that soldering iron. and that is that because the clips have snapped and I cable tie my lights on, when I cable tie it, it sits too far back and leaves a shitty gap. So all I'm going to do, plastic weld a piece on the back of this to extend it and then cable tie it up against the piece. That makes sense, I'll show you what I mean. It might not make sense, but I'll show you what I mean. And then the second problem is that I thought these wings were genuine, and if you look at this one, it's rusty at the bottom, yeah? And I know this is a genuine one because it fits bang on, and the paintwork is good. Now, if you come around to the other side, the paintwork is shit. Looks like it's been done with a rattle can, which I didn't realise because I didn't think to look at them. And then I found out it's not a genuine wing at all because the fitment of the bumper is shit. But I can rectify it a bit. I can fix that a bit. It's not the end of the world. Worst case, I'll buy some genuine wings and paint them white when I do the full car. Or whatever colour I paint the car, either way, yeah. What I'm saying is, that's not a genuine wing, so there's a bit of a gap here which is going to need sorting out. And this needs fixing, but I'm going to get on with that now. It's all going to need a bit more adjustment eventually, but for now this is going to do. I've just had to take 2 clips off at the back for the grill, just because they were touching the cooler, but it can do with, there's 4, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, I've just took the 3 and 2 out. But it's in solid, plus it needs 4 mounting screws at the top as well, so that'll all be sound. Fitment on this side is absolutely bang on. Fitment on the other side needs some work, but you can see that I can easily enough close the gap. So it's just going to need some pulling. Might be to do with the headlight being slightly out of place, but like I say, those brackets need work eventually. So what I'm going to do now is make my bottom grills, and this is really easy. Just make a template, cut the ABS out, get them screwed in. Before I do my grills, I'm going to go collect some parts. Because remember when I set the car on fire and I had to rip everything off? Well, I've been rooting through my shelf of dreams. More like my shelf of many, many, many Polo parts. And I've found 2 of these scuttle panel trays, and I snapped one off thinking that I didn't have another, but it turns out I've got 2 spare. Yeah, that one looks sound. That one's cracked there. Oh well, I can repair that one day. Maybe do a smooth tray, foot pickup or something. Back on the shelf of dreams. Managed to nick some parts from my wings earlier. Them little things there. Where are they? Them little things that go in there that bolt the things to. And these are useful. Oh, I like this shelf. But yeah, there we are. Scuttle panel. Let's put this back on and the wipers. That's everything there back on. Now let's move on to making these grills. Got the bumper all fitted now. Fitment's actually not too bad on that side. I think I still do want to buy genuine wings and sort this headlight fitment out, but yeah, got the grills in as well. That all went well. It's all sound. Now I just need to get a bonnet on and the car's done. When I say done, I mean done for now. Now I am in a bit of a rush because tomorrow I've got a car arriving for a lot of work doing, so I need to get this done tonight and out the unit so I can put that car in that spot. Well, that's a sight I have not seen for a very long time. The GTI looking like a full car again. Now it's not done. Let's just point that out. The front end needs lining up, like the wing fitment and bonnet fitment is rough. It all needs adjusting, but it's already late tonight and the car, like I said, needs to be out of the unit by tonight. So it is going to be coming back in, don't worry about that. It is going to be coming back in, it's going to get fine-tuned. There's loads, like, although I've done absolutely masses on this car, there is so much more left to do. Like, it's just going to be a never-ending project, especially once it starts getting driven and stuff starts breaking. We upgrade, there's going to be loads of new parts, loads of new stuff happening. So this is not the end. So there's definitely going to be a test drive coming. That's probably going to be almost a week away now because I'm so busy and I've got jobs on with my little business. Got loads of jobs going on and stuff coming in the unit to be done. So for now, that's going on the back burner. I've got other stuff to focus on. So next video, you'll see a full drive. But for now, the GTI is back looking like a full car again. It's ready to drive around the back of the unit, can bring my other stuff in, and then once that's sorted, we'll bring it back in, fine tune everything, and take it for a full on test drive. So cheers for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.